Much further.
Oh, she's got on right now.
Oh, this is good. Thank you.
I'm sure I'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to see you again.
Now, what do we do with this office?
Put it in your car. Yeah, you should think. There's like 2 lights switches in.
Hi, Leanna. How you doing? We rock you guys tonight. We rock you guys. Sorry I'm late tonight. I'm so sorry. Hi, Richie Rich. How you doing? Bye. How you doing, you guys? I'm sorry. I was filming for Island Tea as usual, and I'm late. I'm so sorry. Come on out. We want to talk. I want to talk to you guys. Hello, Flo. How you doing? I'm glad you guys can join me. Life is good. Life is good. Look what I'm eating. Look at it. Hi, Miss Faith Breed. Welcome back. Here we go. You guys, I want to talk about a little bit about what happened tonight, what happened the other day with Donald Trump, because a lot of people are talking, hi Hortensia, and nobody's changing, nobody's saying anything, nobody's making a difference. We're all just talking, and it's not helping. We need to now take action. And I know that it was really disrespectful what he said. It really was. But you guys, if we are in our country and we're not taking responsibility for our action, and we're not taking responsibility for the wars and the killing and the crime, and we're not taking responsibility, the government isn't taking responsibility for the people's action, other people from other countries is going to be able to throw those scenarios. As far as it been Donald Trump that said it, come on, Natalie, tell me what he said again. Hi, I have Natalie here with me tonight, working with me. We're working together while she eats.
Eating really good food.
But can you elaborate for me on what Donald Trump said, and then we're going to elaborate on it, because you're here to host with me, not to eat.
Okay. In a nutshell, Donald Trump said that Africa and Haiti were shithole countries. Okay.
It doesn't sound very good. It's not nice. But you guys, put this scenario up, okay? If I invited you into my home, and in my home I had dirty panties all over the floors, and my bed was not made, and my walls were full of crap, cobwebs, and my cupboards were full of water, which turned in my, from water turning my cupboard to mold, and so forth and so on. Hi, Andrew Johnson. And you came out of my house, right? What would you say to me after you saw those things in my house and you came out? You would say that my house was a shithole. Would you not? So what I'm trying to say is, people in the Highland, people in Africa, people all over the world, because everywhere in every country, whether it's a Caribbean country, whether it's Africa, the continent, there's good people and there's bad people. But because the governments in these third world places is making their economy look worse than everywhere else, this is what's given these people in the first world country the rights to speak the way that they are of other people. Now, I'm not saying that Donald Trump is right. That's not what I want you guys to say. I'm not saying he's right. You have to remember, if you come from shit, and if you play with shit, shit will dog you. So what I'm looking at is Donald Trump's behavior already looked like it was shit. He was already acting like he's not a politician. He's a businessman. You understand? He's a businessman. So if you're a businessman and you're a multi-million-dollar businessman, your lifeline is to make money. Am I right? Am I wrong?
Yes.
Okay. So how do we do it to make money? Come on over, Natalie. Please explain to them.
You work hard. No, first of all, you get an education. Because frankly, the way the world is going with all this robotics and automation and such, the higher your education, the more likely you are to have a good job. Education first, good ethics, good upbringing, but honestly, ambition.
But that's not necessarily true, because Donald Trump behaves like he has no ethics.
Sometimes, yeah.
Right?
Sometimes he does.
No, majority of the time.
But he does have ambition and drive.
But he does have ambition and drive, and he's a businessman that is smart. But when he gets on national television telling people that
other countries are no good in comparison.
Stay away, don't let them in, don't this, don't that. He's trying to
control people's feelings about other places.
And their minds.
And their minds. And also, but to make them think that they're living in a better country.
And he also wants to keep the money in his country. Yeah. Again, he is a businessman. And because he's a businessman, he is going to try to make the most dollars. There's no ifs and buts about it. He's definitely going to try to make the most money.
Yeah.
Now, I know a lot of people don't want to. They're probably upset that it's not that I agree with Donald Trump. It's not. I don't agree with him.
No, you don't agree with him.
I don't agree with him. But again, I have to say to you guys, if I invited you into my home and my home was the most filthiest place on the planet, when you leave my house, you will not have something positive to say, and you will not have anything good to say.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
But to the defense of Haiti, for example, Haiti did go through a few serious earthquakes, and I don't know whether it was a hurricane from the ocean. So some of it is not their fault.
Well, it's natural disaster. It's a natural disaster.
Yeah.
Again, a president. What does a president stand for? Isn't he not the leader of the first world? Is he leading, or he's creating World War III, IV?
He's not leading.
He's not leading. And you know what? I don't think there's anything. What can a poor man do? I mean, I'm not saying that a poor man can't do nothing, but how is he going to fight Donald Trump?
He's not going to fight Donald Trump, but mentally, people have to stand up for themselves mentally. They have to know that there is a better future. They have to see something that makes them want to get up in the morning and look at their world differently. Even if you're surrounded by rubble, even if maybe you're surrounded by a couple of dead people, honestly, sorry to the people of Syria, you have to find that spark within yourself and just get up and feel the. And then from there, you build on that, and you build on that one step at a time every single day until you reach a point where you do see some joy in your world and joy in the lives of the people around you.
Hi, David. How you doing?
Hi, David.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. How are you doing?
All right.
So you said to bring you into my live.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to elaborate on what's going on here with the conversation?
Mm-hmm.
So are you? Where are you from? Where are you from? Are you in the United States of America?
Clayton.
Pardon me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you tell me what's your take on Donald Trump's words against Africans and Haitian? What's your take on it? I don't know if I've lost connection with you. I would like to know what's your take on, you're in the United States of America, so what's your take on the Donald Trump situation? Can you hear me? Okay, I have to take you out of the live because it's not working for us. How do I get him off? Thank you for trying to come in, but this is not working for me. So you're kind of like, I don't know what he's doing. I can't. There we go. There we go. Sorry, David. I can't hear you, and I don't know what you're saying. But back to the conversation, you guys. I think that one by one, these countries are getting attacked one by one, and I don't think it's a mistake or anything. I think it's probably planned. Jamaica itself Hello, love. Hi, how are you? Jamaica is the killing rate is enormous. It's going crazy down there. I know that everybody heard the story about the lady and the husband from Winnipeg that's been living in Canada for over 50 years and decided to go home and build their house, and they got murdered in the house,
Oh, wow.
which is a shame. I know that there is a travel advisory warning towards Jamaica. I saw it on the Google. If you guys Google, you will see it. So, I mean, there's problem going everywhere. So with that statement, it's going to come more. And Jamaica is based on their tourism, and I don't think we can afford to have tourists stop coming to the country, but we need to figure out what's going on as a race. We really need to figure out what's going on as a race, because it's like they're teaching us to hate each other, and we shouldn't have to. Blacks are not better than whites. Whites aren't better than blacks. Blacks aren't better than... We're people, and we should be people of love. That's what I understand, that's how I was raised, that we would be people of love. So I don't know what is particularly going on with our races anymore. People are forgetting themselves, and they're not... A lot of people aren't being educated. They're not being educated. It's like we forgot what right and wrong is. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, you don't need people like Donald Trump saying bad things about Jamaica and make it worse.
Well, Donald Trump, he's a president of the United States, and for his behavior is not teaching anybody any kind of value or anything better. So how do people change this? How do we fix it? Because it needs to be fixed.
You need to represent yourself better.
People are representing themselves, but I feel that the people that can make a difference with the money is not helping. I feel like it's like nobody wants to lose their money. Nobody wants to lose what they have. So they decide, you know what, I'm already contented. I'm a millionaire or billionaire. I have lived, I've done what I wanted to do, so I'm not going to get involved in it. But if you don't get involved, sooner or later, it is going to become your problem. Do you know what I mean? Because you are part of that system, and that system is what they're trying to take away. So sooner or later, you're gonna have to fight for what you have.
I mean, people become so beat down and they have such low self-esteem that they don't want to talk anymore about the real problems in life. They don't want to stand up for what is right, and they don't want to stand up for themselves. But if you find a really good support group and a really good group of friends or family that is there for you, where you can talk openly without fear, then you'll find that you have a common interest. And that common interest is to make your life better, the life of your community better, the life of the people in your church better, and to elevate yourself and the people in your community and your culture. And then from that, it builds and builds and becomes better. And suddenly the tide is turned. Suddenly people do take notice of what you've been able to do and your accomplishments. And yeah, there will be haters and greedy people out there, but at the end of the day, you know that you have elevated your standards. And actually, that's something that you have done successfully.
There's some comments here. Hello, love. Long time. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's, Carrie Ann. All the best for 2018. Same for you. Thank you. Totally agree. Very sad. It's becoming really, really sad. Hi, Kevin. How you doing? It's becoming more than sad. Again, you guys, I think what is happening, is majority of humans are carrying fear. They're fearful. And not all of them, but I'm telling you, fear is a limitation. It's a limitation that tells you I'm fearful to make the next step. I'm fearful to leave my job to go to the next job. I'm fearful to tell you what I feel because I don't want to lose your friendship. I'm fearful to come out of an abusive relationship because I don't want to be alone. I'm fearful to give up my store because I don't know what's on the other hand for me. So fear is really dangerous, because fear don't allow you to represent yourself, be yourself, or show the best side of you. What it does is it holds you back. So how do you fix it? If you're fearful, you're not going to try to change anything. You're not. You know, it's when you're not fearful that you get up and you will do anything without even a think of a second, because you're not fear. Most people that are fearful never move from the situation that I wish you wouldn't call me again, girl. You know, they won't. I'm dead till I'm not, till I answer. Yeah, it is. I want somebody to call her. But that's what I find that's happening, is that's the big thing right now, is people are very fearful. But we're living in a world that is, call Candace, that is very, 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 very unsure, uncomfortable. We're not sure. We're just, so many people here living, but you're not living. You're not living. You're just like walking. We're walking corpse. We're not living. We have no emotion. We don't know no happiness. We don't feel. We don't know. We're just going with the motion, because we've put ourselves in a position now that we have to work to pay our bills. We have to work to eat, So right now we just exist. We just exist. If everybody starts living and start making decisions that affects your life in a positive way, it will be a better place. We can't just exist. We all have a purpose, and we need to find those purpose. And we can't just sit down and let other people sow negative seeds in our head, because that's what we're doing. When Donald Trump talks about another race, right? He didn't talk about any other race but our race, right? So he's sowing. If you sit there and listen to that, some of us would take that to the heart and say, "Oh my God, I used to live in there, and it was like this and it was like that, and he's right, and there's nothing better going to happen for me." What I mean? He already placed the seed of negativity in your mind. He placed the seed that you cannot move ahead. You can't allow those seeds to grow. You cannot. You have to throw them away. And yes, you guys, I'm feeling myself a little with this wine. I won't lie. I'm not drunk, but I feel good. Having dinner, doing a shoot, and that's why all the plates are in front of us and stuff like that. So just that's what I wanted to say. But you know what, you guys, you gotta get up and let the fear go. You just gotta stop. You gotta just know that you are capable of moving mountains. The reason why I say that again, there was a singer, and I mean, he said he wasn't from the gully or the ghetto or whatever. But when you look at somebody like Gully Bob, that had no teeth, that became a superstar on television, started traveling around the world and stuff, you got to know that God has a plan and a reason for every single person. And it doesn't, if you don't go out there and find your purpose, you will never know what He has for you. And you're not going to know. Whether you fail or succeed doesn't mean anything. It just means it'll open the door to the next thing if that thing wasn't your thing. It was good, wasn't it?
It was good, thank you.
So, I'm going to also, with this Donald Trump issue, that a lot of people are taking to the heart, because I wouldn't take it to the heart, because I really don't have any respect for him, and I don't feel that he's even better than me. I feel he has a little bit more money, but I don't even feel that he's better than me. So I'm not taking anything that he says to heart, because I know a president or a prime minister of a country, especially the first world country, is to speak with the utmost respect. There's got to be something more presidential about him, sophisticated about him, educated about him. And the way he speaks, there's none of that. He has nothing educated. He has nothing sophisticated. He has money, and you think that he could use the money to buy some of those things. But I'm telling you guys, money don't do that. If you don't have certain things, you can't buy it with the money. He can't buy love. He probably don't know how to be loved.
I don't know. I mean, he's a businessman, right? But he has charisma. That's what he has going for him.
He has who?
Charisma.
Well, I don't know who'd want his charisma, because I know anybody that goes around him for charisma, they're going around him for the finance.
And as harsh as his words sound to everybody, what he's telling everybody is, look, nobody is going to come and rescue you. Stop being fearful. Stop playing a victim wherever it is you live. No one is going to come rescue you. You need to get up and move on and do something
and
with
fight
your
back.
life. And fight. Be creative. Create your life every day. Do something.
Fight back.
That's what he's saying.
Fight back, because I tell you something. And when I say fight back, you guys, I don't mean fight back with guns. I don't mean to fight back with weapons. When I say fight back, I mean fill your mind with education and positive things and reinforcement things and put yourself in circles that uplifts you, benefits you, and move you to the next direction. That's what I see. That's what I mean when I say fight back. I don't mean the fist fight. I mean fight back. I mean young ladies, women, we're sensitive and we think with our hearts more than we think with our minds. And because we think with our hearts more than we think with our minds, hello, we really need to start respecting each other. We need to respect each other as women, and we need to respect our spaces. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that reminds me, don't you have something coming up in March?
I do have something coming up in March, but I don't want them to know till maybe next month. We'll
right.
tell them everything little by little.
Okay.
But right now, what I'm talking about is I'm talking about the respect of females, because females are strong. I was listening to an empowerment segment by blah blah.
Maybe it was Brene Brown or
One of those black men, powerful black men, and he was saying God judges by our hearts, not our minds. And because God judges by the goodness of our hearts, women are judged very good, very powerful. So that's why I'm saying we can use our heart to change things.
We can use our heart to change things.
And that's why I'm saying it's so much important for women to come closer so they can see you. Get in the light. No, nobody can see you. Come on over. But that's why I'm saying it's so important. I want you to come over here.
Very important that we join together.
Together as a team, a strong team. Because again, men have it really hard.
Which men?
All men. Men don't know how to express themselves. They don't know. Me and you can sit here and express every pain and every muscle and every ache that we feel. A man will sit there and says, yeah, it ain't too bad, man. I'll just rub a little bit up.
Which is why Donald Trump is so popular, because he, it appears, is saying what every man in America really wants to say about the world.
But I don't think every man in America wants to say that about the
Not
world.
the educated men, no.
I mean, a man that's smart and sensible knows, and a man that knows that America was based on Afro-Caribbean people. I'm not going to take that one back. The place is built off the back of black slaves. And for you to know that the place was built off a black slave, for it to be where it is, and everything that was made was invented by black people. And because black people aren't reading, they don't know what they've done and what they've brought to society. It's the same thing that's been in Alberta here. You'll hear people tell you, go back to where you come from, not knowing that there's been black people here since 1801.
And that's another reason why Donald Trump's words have hit really hard, because countries like Nigeria is a very prosperous country. It is a very forward-thinking country. It has one of the biggest movie industries in the world. So for those people who are in Nigeria, yes, they have Boko Haram, really bad rebels. There's no doubt about it. But balanced out by the prosperity of that country, to say that Nigeria is a shithole, I'm sorry, that is not right.
It's not acceptable. And it's definitely not acceptable to a prime minister or a president. It's not something that you do when you're the first world leader. Like, I don't understand that. It's like I don't even want to, you know what? What I don't want to do, hey, I'll say, hi, Crystal, how you doing, hon? I don't want to give him any more strength than we're giving him. What we're doing is giving him, by mentioning his name so many times and so many, you know what I mean? We're giving him so much more power that he needs. That's not who I want to embrace and empower. Who I want to empower is the people. You understand? People that, because honestly, there's some people that has taken this to the next limit. They're angry. They're upset. They feel ashamed. And for a person, especially a young child, that is already feeling that I don't like my skin color. Can you imagine some of the kids that came into America or to Canada or to England because they came on refugee status and they're coming from the wars and stuff? Now, they already have a mental issue. So with him saying that and with all those things going there,
it builds on their trauma.
It builds on their trauma. It builds on their mind. It builds on everything. So again, we're not making for successful children. We're not. So those are the people that I'm worried about. Somebody asked, who's your guest? Who asked me that? Crystal.
My name is Natalie. Hello.
Natalie?
It is Natalie. I'm a friend of Althea's, one of several friends. And I had the good fortune of being invited onto the show today. So thank you, Althea.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, welcome. Hi, Swan. How you doing? But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I am worried about the children, the adults, the adults have already been medically or mentally stressed about their issues. It's going to become more, and the more people hear, and the more people insert it and take it in their mind, then the worse it becomes. So
But
now,
not just that. I mean, imagine you're in elementary school and you go to school in the morning, and the other kids in your classroom go, "Hey, Donald Trump says that you come from a shithole country," and you're like, "What? What? I have enough problems already with people telling me my knees are brown, let alone telling me now that I come from a shithole country, when in fact I was actually born in the United States." So, hypothetically.
so now we have more than one problem. We've now just infected a whole high school, elementary, law office. What he's doing, he's infecting. That's what he's doing.
That's what he's doing.
He's infecting the world to not be better people, but be worse people. So we have to be careful. Somebody said my son in what? Hi, Mike. How are you doing? So yeah, he's infecting the world in a really bad way. So we're not going to give him any more.
We're not going to give him any more ammunition.
We're not going to give him no more ammunition to use against colored people.
There you go.
Because I think that's who he does. I think that's why he doesn't like them. But I don't understand.
I don't know. I mean, maybe inside himself he has very low self-esteem, and this is his only way of expressing himself. Maybe he needs a psychologist.
I think you know what? I do again think that he does have. I do think he has really low self-esteem, and I don't think he likes himself. You understand? Because if you know that life is love and people is love, because again, I was at church today, and today when I was at church, the priest was saying that it is weird to alienate yourself from community. He said what is going on with the cell phones and the social media and all that stuff is weird. We do not talk like this, sit like this anymore. Yeah. It's all computer. So we're segregating ourselves and we're becoming one. Like we're just becoming individualists. And how can you be individualist when the Bible says where there's more than one gathered, God is there? So if we're only one by ourselves, there's no God, there's no nothing there. How we learning? Who's raising us?
Unfortunately, it's the television that's raising us.
The television is raising us.
It's being used.
Social media is raising us. And what are we seeing on social media? We're seeing hate. There's a lot of good stuff, but there's a lot of hate.
There's a lot of hate, and you have to combat that. You have to fight that. You have to fight it in yourself, even because you may not be a prejudiced person or a racist person, but there's always something little inside
of you.
You have to think about who you really want to be every single day. Do you want to be that person that makes a change for good, or do you want to be that person who keeps that little piece just in case it comes in handy one day? That's not good.
And you have to think about it like this. If she was a little baby and I was babysitting the baby and I keep telling you that you're ugly, you're disgusting, you disgust me, you're gross and you're repulsive, you do that for several months, not even years, with that child understanding what you're saying. What becomes of that child? It finally says, you know what, that's my mother. And if she feels that I'm that bad, well, I'm that bad. I was listening to a story that a young girl came home from school and she was singing. You know, she was happy, la, 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 as hell. And her mother came home from work in a bad mood. The mother was in a terrible mood. And the happier the daughter felt, the higher her voice went. And the higher her voice went, the mother turned around, looked at her and said, shut up, your voice is terrible and it's stupid. And it's funny, the daughter grew up, it never sang again. Nobody could tell her that she was a good singer because her mother was the biggest inspiration of her life and her mother killed it.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's what I'm saying. So when that happens, when you plant that seed in your head and you're a child, it's hard for them not to fertilize it. It's hard for us not to fertilize it and we're adults, right? We have to try to weed out all that bush out of our head to try again. But a younger person doesn't have that mentality to weed out that stuff. That's why we lose a lot of our young people.
Unless they've got a good support system. And that's why it's important for the communities to get together, whether it's in church, whether it's in a restaurant, sitting on the stoop of your step. It is important to get together and have these conversations and have positive outcomes at the end and just say what needs to be said and live a life that is a full life, not a half life. Just like Healthier promotes. There's no point waking up every day to have a half life and have a half influence. You've got to create every single step. You have to do affirmations, right?
You have to live life to your fullest. It doesn't matter. Even if you don't succeed, you would have done your absolute best. Nobody can take that from you. Crystal said we need to get out and talk to people, love people for who they are inside. Skin color should not matter in this day and age. And Crystal, you're so right. We do need to go out and meet people. Sometimes we're doing things in life and we cannot get to the next level because we need help. And if we're not socializing, if we're not talking, if we're not getting positive reinforcement and stuff like that, we cannot cross over into the next entity. A lot of people realize that because they got so hooked on the social media, they're not going. They're talking from here to there. They stop going out. They stop visiting. They stop all that stuff. But that will not break you into the next level. You know, it's not. You have to know yourself, understand yourself. You need to read, educate yourself, and put yourself to that next level. I'm telling you, it's really important. When you learn the word self-love, when you learn to love yourself, there's nothing that you cannot do, and nobody can stop you. I don't care how hard they try. And then you have a pattern, and you stick to the pattern. You have to stick to the pattern. And love is the number one pattern in the universe. And the things that are going on in the world is going to start to taint your mind. So that's even more that you have a stronger support group, you guys. It's important. Donald Trump is going to say and do what he wants to do. Why? He can.
Yeah.
He can. But don't waste your energy and your time to take that information that he's sending, because his signals aren't good. They're not good signals. So don't worry about his signal. When you see it, you either block him, turn him off, and move to the next. You've got to think about educating yourself. You've got to think about living close with your family. You've got to think about loving your friends. You've got to think about seeing your friends the next day. You've got to think about raising those children right. And you've got to think about working and making a living for you and your family. Those are the things. You think about your husband. You think about your kids. And you think about yourself first and most, because without you, none of these things are possible.
And if you don't do these things, you are just betraying yourself. You are wasting your time. You are wasting your God-given life.
Your energy. You're wasting everything that you stand for. And then one day you wake up and you're old and you wonder where your life is. And then somebody said to you, if you were dying today and you had one wish, what would you want to do? Don't wait for that minute to do it. Do it now. Live as if it was your last day. Donald Trump's day will come. He's 75, 76. What the hell is he? How long more can you think he's going to live to react to change things? I'm sorry. He's no special than you, and he's no better than you. He just has a little bit more money than us. That's all it is. But when God said it's time for his breath, it's time for his breath. And you know what? He don't have to answer to us, but he sure has to answer to the Almighty God. I'm telling you that. And I'm not forcing that down nobody's throat, but I'm telling you, every single one of us has to go out, no matter how we look at it. I'm telling you that. So I want you guys to implant, grow seeds in your head, positive seeds, not negative seeds. And as far as Donald Trump can say anything about anybody. It shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't matter, but you know what? If it does matter to you, turn it into a positive.
That's
Take
right.
it as a challenge. If he wants to say that, great, wonderful. Learn from the negativity of people and turn them into positive reasons for living.
Oh my goodness. What does that person say? Admit when you're wrong. Love yourself. Understand. Yes, admit when you're wrong. And I think that is when you acceptability. You have to have acceptability. You have to. You have to know when you're wrong. And it's okay to be wrong. You can't always be right. We're not going to always be right. But as long as we know when we're wrong and we ask for forgiveness and we accept it and know that we did wrong and we moved on to do better. You understand? It's when we don't let go of these things and we continue to think that, oh, I didn't do anything. I'm the best. We're not the best. We're human that makes mistakes. Just accept it, move on, and to the next challenge of life. Absolutely.
But always seek forgiveness. Forgive others because others will hurt you. Just also forgive yourself because you know you've done some things in life that were not healthy, that were hurtful to other people. There's nothing you can do about that. If they don't forgive you, you have to forgive yourself and move forward, like Althea said.
And if you forgive, I'll tell you something. Forgiveness. If you forgive, oh my God, forgiving makes you move to another stone. You're able to open up everything in you and bring in all the good thing that God has waiting for you. But if you don't forgive, the problem never goes away, and God never forgives you. So you walk around with your face down, hanging down your ass. Because if you expect God to forgive you, you've got to expect to forgive your peers. And if you don't forgive, you can't move on. What I'm trying to say to you guys, I'm not saying to forget your pain. You can never forget your pain. And the minute you forget your pain, you allow the same pain to come back in. So you always remember the pain. You just forgive the individual. But you remember what happened, so you won't allow it to happen again. These are why we get these situations. We learn to forgive and carry on. You have to. It's part of life. My wish would be for communities to come together, to show love and support like my daughter's wish. I believe, I'm not going to let nobody take my hopes away. I believe there's a lot of people wishing and hoping for that. And as long as there's still those people around in the world wishing and hoping for that, I think we have a great chance. And this is why I'm here. I don't want people to take Donald Trump seriously. It's about, you know what? When you get money, and I'll give you a scenario. Okay? I didn't like myself. I didn't admire myself. I didn't like myself. I didn't think anything of myself. But I tried to find happiness. Oh my God, I tried so hard. And I would go shopping every single week for 11 years. Every single week, I would go to one of those little stores, Sirens, whatever, and I would get myself a little shirt and a little pants.
See, this girl had a closet full of clothes.
And you know what? I would go in, and 11 years I did this for, and I would get a little bit of a rush because I'm in the store and I'm looking through all kind of clothes, and I'm getting this rush. So I forget what I'm missing inside, and I buy the clothes, and I go home, and I throw it in the closet. And between the time from I got home to throw it in the closet, my heart is empty again. I don't know what's going on. And I don't wear the clothes. The next week come, I still have the same emptiness. And I don't know what's going on. It's empty. I'm so sad. What's going on? Help me. So I go back to the store. And I buy another 2 outfits. And I throw them in the closet. It's so weird. But I realized that it wasn't helping. So, okay, fine. I ran out and I got myself a Jaguar. Remember when I bought my Jag? I bought myself a Jag. So now I bought myself a Jag. I became the world. This is it. All that thing inside of me is going away, and I'm going to look lit, and I'm going to be perfect, and I'm going to be happy. God damn it. The Jag didn't work. So I had it for years and years, and people made such a fuss over it. It got on my nerves. Oh my God, that's a beautiful car. Oh my God, how did you afford it? Oh my God. So I got the attention for the car, but I didn't get the fixing for my heart. So I gave the car away to my son. We continue. We're moving on. Okay, I'm going to get my own business now. It's 11 years. I'm going to get my own business. I'm going to take my mind off this lonely feeling, that feeling that's making me feel crazy and mad and low. I got my business. I held on it for 11 years. Was I happy? Hell no. It gave me more work and more stress. So the feeling is still there. Oh my God, I don't understand. So I continue to shop. I continue to get things. So I said to my hubby, I want a Mercedes-Benz. I deserve it. You know, I really thought I deserved it. So I got myself a Mercedes. Well, he got me a Mercedes-Benz. And I have a nice sports Mercedes-Benz. So I thought that my heart was going to be full and overwhelmed. Holy shit, I treat the car like it was a bag of crap.
There's a couple of candy wrappers.
All in it, thrown all in it. It didn't make me any happier. So one night, I did all of this. I'm going to read your question in a minute, Crystal. I just want to explain something to you guys. So one night I got down on my hands and knees because I was so lonely. I was so lonely. I was so sad inside. I was so broken. No matter what I bought, what I got couldn't help. I don't know what to do. I don't know. My mind pattern couldn't think. I couldn't think. I couldn't think of what I needed to do to be happy. I don't know what to do. I'm lonely inside. I don't want to tell anybody because everybody thinks I'm cute, gorgeous, and I'm hip to the facts. So I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about it. I want them to sit there and watch me and think my life is great and beautiful. I don't know. That's how most people try to go through it. But it didn't work. I had to get on my hands and knees, and I would have to ask God, you got to show me the way because I am lost now. I am lost. No matter how much money you give me, it didn't change nothing. That's why I'm saying Donald Trump might have $1 billion. Something is missing inside of him, and he can't fix it. Until he finds out what it is, he's going to continue to try to upstore the whole entire world to make himself better. I realize the pattern. The pattern is, I don't need a car. I don't need a fancy car. I could get a car for $10 as long as it takes me from A to B. As long as I live my life at 150% with love, kindness, and care, none of those other things matter. None. I have put myself in a different mind frame. And my mind frame changed everything. My mind frame now makes me happy. I can go to church for Sunday and be thankful and be happy. I can go to work and not make $1 and say, God, thank you for waking me up to send me to work. I don't hold on to those things. I'm real now. Everything inside me is real. And it didn't take one day. I'm not saying it took one day. It took almost a lifetime for me to get where I'm at. So you guys, please don't allow this black, white, Donald Trump government nonsense to reflect on you, because life is precious and beautiful, but at the same time, it is so short. Enjoy it to the fullest. Don't wait. Don't let nobody take away your mojo. Don't. It's not worth it. I love you guys. I gotta take off because it's 8:15. I gotta go home. I gotta get my daughter. So I'm gonna say good night, but I'm telling you guys, sow positive seeds in your mind. And if you have negative seeds right now, find a way to kill them. Don't let them grow no more pranks in your head. You know when a big tree grows and it's bad, it has negative seeds, and the more you feed it with negative, it grows, it grows, it grows. All of a sudden you have pear bush coming out in your brain. And after a while, you don't even have space to put anything good in it. So don't allow it. Sow your seeds very carefully and make sure you're sowing positive seed. Whatever you do in life, do it to your best ability. And self-love is first and most. And I'll tell you something, I've never felt this strong and this powerful in all my life. I feel like I'm untouchable. Only God can and will. Crystal says to me, it's about seeing love, not hate. The world needs more love, less hate. It's absolutely true, but I believe there's a lot of love in the world. It's just that some of us forget how to do it. We try to buy things to find it. We try to date men to get it. We try to drink to get it. We try to have sex to get it. We try to drink alcohol to get it. But at the end of the day, none of those things have to do with love. Okay? If you love yourself, you're going to love your neighbor the same. Anything that you don't want to see happen to you, you will not want it to happen to another person. And that's where you know that the love has started, and that's where the healing is. When you start to care for somebody as much as you care for yourself, you know the healing has started. I love you guys, and I'm gonna, hi B Vivid, how you doing, sweetie? I want you guys to have a fantastic day. Cancer says good evening and one love, two love, three love. Thank you very much. You guys always rock. I hope that not everybody's gonna love me out here tonight, but I hope every single person takes tiny bit of what I said and apply it to their life to make it more successful and make yourself more positive. And for the ones that don't enjoy me and don't like me, I will try my best to give you something of some sort of a love to enhance your spirit. Bye. See you later. Sunday tea. Watch it. Watch me. Watch yourself. Cause me depend a rule. I'm gonna stop. I love you guys. You've got to have self-love to make the change, you guys. You really have to. I can't even change you by telling you this, but you need to love yourselves, and that makes a big difference. Good night, and have yourself a fantastic night. I'm going home.